everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Sable Danielle and I'm a human design coach and sound healer, and today we are going to be diving into the basics of human design. Last episode I reintroduced myself, I reintroduced my business, my brand, my passions, and talked about the pivot that this channel and my business will be taking, and that is with diving deeper into human design and providing you guys information about this amazing tool if you're on a self-discovery journey. So yeah, let's dive into the different types of human design auras. First and foremost, let me tell you what human design is, and it's an energetic blueprint of the energy that you were naturally born with. What aura do you naturally give off energetically? What do you energetically take in because it's empty in your body graph, and that's something that you're actually taking in. It's a combination of the chakra system, astrology, Kabbalah, I Ching, and your DNA, and it was created in 1987 by Ra Uru Hu. So there are a lot of benefits to human design. It was initially created to help parents provide a strong foundation for their children, helping them understand who they are so that they can walk their authentic purpose and path. It helps you understand why your children act so emotionally sometimes, and then it'll help you mitigate those emotions. It'll help you mitigate and communicate with your child or loved one through knowing the different energies that you're born with, because it really truly does impact you. And if you have the tools, the sooner you have the tools, the easier it is to utilize them and see the benefits that they can bring you in this life. So human design can increase your self-awareness and understanding. It helps you understand your energetic role and purpose. It helps provide clarity about what we want in this life. Well, I guess it does, because if it subconsciously comes to you, it'll help you understand that. But what I meant to say was it helps you understand why you attract certain type of energies all the time. It helps you add additional perspectives to your thoughts, your thinking. It helps increase your self-love and compassion. It helps provide clarity about your daily routines, and it'll help provide understanding about who you are. It'll help improve your communication in your relationships if you understand your type or your loved one's type or your child's type. It's just really beneficial. So there are 5 different types, and I'm interested to see which ones you resonate with. So drop a comment below. The first one I'm going to talk about is projector, which is the guide with the captivating aura. And then there's generator, which are the busy bees of humanity. They're designed to be busy with aligned work, and they have an energetic aura. There's manifestors, who inspire new ideas, and they have a bold aura. There's manifest generators, which are a combination of the manifestor and generator, and they are here to create practical shortcuts and to have an impactful and inviting aura. And then there's reflectors, who take in and test the environment, and they have an adaptable aura. And the reason they have an adaptable aura is because they have no colored centers on their chart, but we'll dive into what that means shortly. Okay, so let's talk generators. Generators are the busy bees of the human design types. They're the worker bees of humanity, but they're not just here to work. They're here to do aligned work and inspire aligned work and create that type of energetic buzz around aligned, fulfilling work. Once they have an idea in mind, they are tunnel vision, spot on. They don't like to be interrupted. They need to get it done with no interruptions, or until they exhaust their energy in doing so. Their strategy is to respond. They have a not self theme of frustration, which means if they are interrupted during their task that they are tunnel vision on, they may become frustrated, or if they hit a roadblock, they may become frustrated. If they are not putting their energy into aligned work, they may become frustrated. So those are your trigger points. Those are your red signs, your caution signs to know that you're not really aligned. If you're feeling frustrated most of the time, what are you frustrated from? That's something you would want to ask yourself so that you can understand what you're no longer aligned with and how you can switch it up and alleviate those feelings of frustration by putting your energy into something that you're more aligned with. The next one I'm going to talk about is projector. Projectors are designed to be a guide. They're designed, I'm a projector, are designed to experience things in life, take that, learn from them, and then project them out and be a guide to the people around us. We have a captivating aura, and our strategy is to wait for an invitation. Our not self theme, which means we're not aligned, is bitterness, and we experience feelings of bitterness when we don't necessarily feel valued, we don't feel seen, we don't feel appreciated. I spoke a little bit about my journey as a projector and finding out I'm a projector in my last video, but before I found human design, I recognized that there is a constant feeling of not being valued and not being appreciated and not being seen for who I am, whether it was at work, in my relationships, in my friendships, or even just within myself, not recognizing those things. And once I found out I'm a projector and that is a constant battle for projectors, it alleviated so many things in me. I didn't feel like anything was wrong with me anymore. I didn't feel like I had to keep figuring out what can I do to be valued? What can I do to be better? What can I do to improve how people see me? No. I'm designed to kind of naturally feel that way, but that doesn't mean that I have to feel that way. I just have to recognize my own power and shift my mindset. Don't get caught in those constant negative thought cycles and loop of negative thinking. That's really the best way I can describe it, because once that turned on, it was constant voices in my head of negative stuff that just was not helpful to my growth or happiness or being happy with who I am, accepting who I am. And so finding that out, it made it really easy for me to turn that off and shift my perspective. And life has felt so smooth since then. I'm not saying everything's perfect, because nothing is perfect. There are things that happen day to day, that could throw me off. But at the same time, I don't take them personally anymore. I don't take so many things personally. And that means I don't harbor those feelings of not feeling seen or valued or any of those things, because number one, I value myself. I know that you see me. You can't not see me. You can't not see my value. But if you so happen to not see my value, then that just means that we're not aligned energetically. It's not meant to be, and that's okay with me. And I don't know, I love the ease of that mindset shift, the feelings that it has brought to my life since then. So I feel like once you learn your human design type, you can understand what energy is naturally moving through you, and understand your trigger points, or areas that you can grow, areas that you can shift your mindset or perspective to not sit in the shadows of that energy type, if that makes sense. So next is manifestor. Manifestors are here to create and inspire new ideas. They have an impactful and bold aura. Your strategy is to inform, and your not self theme is anger. And so you're meant to inform the people around you, to allow yourself to have a space of least resistance, and to also allow yourself to feel more supported, and let the people around you feel more included. Because as a manifestor, you kind of have a closed off aura to you. You don't like to be controlled. You don't really like authority. You can very much so be a lone wolf. And that can hinder your relationships only because you move at your own speed. You do what you do. You don't necessarily need people around you to feel super happy in life or to get things done or to accomplish something. You know that you can do it on your own, and sometimes you'd like to maneuver on your own to do that, but that can make the people around you feel left out or like you don't care or like you don't respect them, and then you may feel like they're not respecting you because while you're out here trying to create while you're out here trying to create new ideas and you are being a lone wolf, they're interrupting you. And that bothers you, and then you're going to get angry, and then you may communicate angry and have an outburst. So to alleviate all of that, your strategy is to inform. But don't think of it as you're asking for permission. You're informing to minimize the resistance and the interruptions on your journey, on your path, and to also alleviate any anger that may come from your support system around you, the loved ones around you. And you don't have to inform everybody of everything. It's just the closest people around you in your circle. You should, if they're going to be impacted by your decision, it's best energetically speaking for you to inform them of the decisions that they may be impacted by. And then you can go do your thing and be a lone wolf and not be interrupted, and also feel supported because they understand what you're doing. You're not just moving. Next is a manifest generator, who is a combination of manifestor and a generator. However, they primarily have generator energy and qualities, I guess you could say, but you benefit from both of the energies. And so as a manifest generator, you inspire new ideas, and you also find practical shortcuts to finish things and get to the end goal. You have an energetic, impactful aura, and your strategy is to respond and inform. And so you're meant to respond from your generator energy, and that just means that you trust that the universe is going to give you something to respond to. If you're not feeling any type of energetic engagement, then that just means it's not aligned to you. If something is aligned to you, you basically need something to respond to. And energetically, inside, it's going to come from your sacral center. We'll dive into that a little later, but that's going to come from your sacral center, and you're going to get and feel a very strong sense of yes if you're responding to something that's in alignment with you, and you have enough energy to do so. If it's unaligned or you don't have the energy to put into that at the moment, it's going to be a very strong no. And so you have to kind of learn to listen and feel that, to know what aligned decisions to make. But every generator and manifest generator, that comes from the generator portion, person that I have spoken to and mentioned the strong yes or strong no has very much so said that it's an absolute feeling, like you can't miss it. So if you are a generator, or you notice that you have a very, very strong sense of yes or a very, very strong sense of no, once you are asked to do something or invited to be a part of something, or whatever you need to respond to energetically, you'll know if it's a yes or a no. And so trust that. If you force that, you say yes to something that you know internally was a no, you're going to feel feelings of frustration from the generator energy. You're going to get frustrated by that because it's not aligned. You're here to do aligned work and respond to things that are aligned with you, interact with things that are aligned with you, and give you those strong yes nudges internally. So if you do that, if you force something that doesn't feel like a strong yes, you're going to be frustrated, and that'll impact you and the people around you. The manifestor energy inside of you as a manifest generator, you are also meant to inform. So once you find that aligned response, you then move forward and inform the people around you that may be impacted by that aligned decision that you're making, so that you can have tunnel vision, you can be lone wolf, you can get the task done without interruptions, you can just be in your own little bubble. They'll understand that that's what you're doing. The people around you as a generator or manifest generator need to know that once you are locked in on an idea, you're locked in, and they can't stray you away from that. If they try to, they're going to feel the wrath of your not self energy, the frustration and anger that comes out as a manifest generator. So it's kind of like you may lash out and be very, your words might hurt a little bit if people interrupt you, or if you choose not to inform and then people interrupt you. So just keep note of that as a manifest generator. And then last but not least, the rarest type of human design / aura type is reflector. And reflectors are here to take in and test the energies of their environment. They have no defined or colored in centers, which are the shapes on your body graph. If you pull your body graph up, it's pretty much just white, which means that they're soaking in all of the energy around them. They're not really giving off any energy. And so that energy is then used to like take in, test the environment, what fits, what feels right, what doesn't. You mirror things, you're very adaptable. That's the type of aura that you have. And your strategy is to wait 29 days before you make a decision. And the reason for that is because if you're taking in all this energy all the time, constantly, consistently, because you weren't born with natural energy throughout your body graph, then how do you know that you're making a decision that's based off of you, right? So wait 29 days or a lunar cycle so that you can siphon through that energy, let the energy leave you. You can figure out what energy and thoughts are actually yours, so you can make an aligned decision true to you, not based off of the energy that you've been soaking in, the people around you or the environment. So that's very important to remember as a reflector. And your not self theme is disappointment. So you may have feelings of like not living up to expectations, or just being kind of unfulfilled, disappointed in the environment around you. If you start feeling like that, then you know that you're unaligned, and it's time to make some different moves, make some different choices to become more aligned with your environment. I also wanted to talk about a few of the main elements, just give a short little rundown of the main elements, components of human design. We'll dedicate an episode specific to some of these things later because it's a lot of information and I just want to give you guys a rundown. So a few elements of human design, you heard me mention strategy, and strategy is basically how you're designed to use your energy and how you're supposed to interact with your environment energetically. Authority is how you're designed to make decisions, and not self. Emotions are the emotions that you experience when you're not honoring your human design. There are signature emotions, which is the opposite of not self emotions, and those are emotions that you experience when you are living and honoring your human design, making decisions based off of your authority and your strategy, versus forcing energy or forcing decisions, making unaligned decisions, which would then lead to the frustration, the bitterness, the anger, the disappointment that I mentioned for the different human design types. And human design types are just your aura, the aura that you were born with. It's your energetic purpose. It's the energy that runs through your body naturally, not that you're taking it. On the body graph charts, there are numbers inside of each of the shapes, and those are called gates. The numbers are called gates, and they may be circled or colored in, and they just represent different DNA characteristics of that center. They help you understand more of your thoughts, cycles, and your characteristics. And the numbers are always the same in each of the shapes. The numbers won't change. Like the top triangle has number 61 and 63 in it. That's always going to be in the top triangle, the head center. Those don't change. The only thing that would change with the gates is whether they're defined, colored in, or undefined, which would mean just nothing. They're just there on your chart. A center, which I've mentioned, are the different shapes that are on your body graph. There's a triangle, there's a diamond, there's squares, and they're either colored in or they're not. They all basically are kind of like the chakra system, but with 2 additional chakras. They are your centers, and they each represent different things throughout your body. They have different energetic roles. And so starting at the top, we have our head center, we have ajna, we have our throat center, we have our identity center, heart center, your emotional solar plexus center, sacral center, spleen center, and your root center. And we are going to dedicate an episode solely to that because the centers you need to know. Like, there's so much information to dive into. We're not going to get into all the details today, but I promise we're going to dedicate an episode to each of the centers so that you can learn it inside and out. Next are channels. If you look at your body graph, you'll see lines connecting each of the centers or the different shapes on your chart. You'll see lines connecting them, and they're either going to be colored in or not, or defined or undefined. And those are channels. They connect 2 centers together to either allow energy to transfer through them, or energy may be stagnant on one end because it's not a fully defined channel. But either way, that line is called a channel. And you have channels going from all of the different centers. They connect 2 centers together. And you've heard me mention definition. And definition is just color on your chart. Wherever you see color on your chart, you have definition. It's a defined center, or a defined channel, or a defined gate. If it's white, completely white, with no color in it at all, that's open. And if there is some color in an open center, like let's say you have in the head center at the top, it's white, which means it's open. But then you have a number that's a gate that's colored in on that triangle, on that center, then that center then becomes undefined and it has a defined gate. So the center itself has no definition, but the gate has definition, which means you get energy into that center from that gate. Wherever you see color on your chart is the natural energy that you were born with. Wherever you see white spaces on your chart or it's not colored in, that's the energy that you're taking in from your environment, the people around you. So we give off the color and we take in where it's white. Let me know if that makes sense to you. If you have any other questions, you can leave some comments or drop your questions in the comments. Or you can send me a message on Instagram if you like, sable.danielle29. Okay, so what you need to figure out your human design, body graph, your energy, you need the day you were born, you need the specific time you were born, and you need the exact location that you were born so that we could put it into our calculator and figure out all the energies of the planets, which help make up the energy of your body graph, the colors of your body graph, the definition in your body graph. So if you don't have those 3 things, you won't be able to pull that information. So hopefully you can ask whoever would have your birth chart, your birth certificate, or you can go get a copy of your birth certificate, because you definitely do need all of those 3 things. There's no getting around it. The exact day you were born, the exact time you were born, and the exact location that you were born. And then you can calculate it on a website and pull up your body graph chart and see exactly what it looks like so you're not confused by what I'm talking about. So overall, that's human design, the 5 different types. And next week, we're going to be diving into the strategy, more on the strategy, the not self theme, and the signature theme. So if you had any questions on exactly what those are, I'll be giving more details next episode. If you have anything you wanted to share regarding human design that I've spoken about today or in any of the previous episodes, please drop a comment. Tag someone who you think would enjoy this or benefit from this. Share it with them. Subscribe. Turn your notifications on. We'll have a new episode on Wednesday. Thank you for being here. I hope you feel empowered and inspired by understanding the different human design types. So let me know which one resonates with you. Which one do you think you are? You can pull it. You can drop your comment below if you don't know what human design type you are, just based off of the information that I've given and the little tips that you've heard so far. Which one do you resonate with? And then you can go check and see if you're right. So thank you for being here. Peace and love. Have a good day. I'll catch you on the next episode.